Hello everyone, I'm Dawn. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for visiting with me here today. Now, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel, The Cutting Board. We do all kinds of things here, like true crime, food content, including taste test and lots of cooking, Disney content, hauls, reviews, DIY, SFX makeup. I have a lot of interest and I just want to share them with you. In this video, we're going to talk about the book, excuse me, The House of My Mother, A Daughter's Quest for Freedom, written by Shari, Franke. And it is set to be released on January 7th, 2025, and I'm really looking forward to it. Shari Franke is the eldest child of Ruby Franke. Her upcoming book is the true story of the 8 Passengers vlog and the hidden and not so hidden mistreatment she suffered at the hands of her mother. Ruby was cruel, cold, and hateful to her children, and not only used food to punish her children, but humiliation and just an array of forms of maltreatment. And you can easily check this out yourself, but I'm going to Django's loving on me. I'm going to read the book description from Amazon. So here we go. From eldest daughter, Shari Franke, the shocking true story behind the viral 8 Passengers family vlog and the hidden ABUSE she suffered at the hands of her mother, and how, in the face of unimaginable pain, she found freedom and healing. Django, come here. Shari Franke's childhood was a constant battle for survival. Her mother, Ruby Franke, enforced a severe moral code while maintaining a facade of a picture-perfect family for their wildly popular YouTube channel, 8 Passengers, which documented the day-to-day life of raising 6 children for a staggering 2.5 million subscribers. But a darker truth lurked beneath the surface. Ruby's wholesome online persona masked a more tyrannical parenting style than anyone could have imagined. As the family's YouTube notoriety grew, so too did Ruby's delusions of righteousness, fueled by the sadistic influence of relationship coach Jody Hildebrandt. Together, they implemented an inhumane and merciless disciplinary regime. Ruby and Jody were arrested in Utah in 2023 on multiple charges of aggravated child abuse. On that fateful day, Shari shared a photo online of a police car outside their home. Her caption had one word: finally. For the first time, Shari will reveal the disturbing truth behind 8 Passengers and her family's devastating involvement with Jody Hildebrandt and her cultish life coaching program Connections. Was a cult for sure. No stone is left unturned as Shari exposes the perils of influencer culture and shares for the first time her battle for truth and survival in the face of her mother's cruelty. So I am actually really, I don't know if excited is the right word. I'm not excited that these children went through this brutal treatment, but I'm really looking forward to reading what Shari has to say, because I'm sure it's going to be very revealing. In my opinion, Ruby is devious and evil, and although she put blame on Jody at her plea hearing, Ruby was this twisted person before Jody was in their lives. She was pliable to Jody. Now, I know Jody was involved with Ruby before we ever knew about her, but Ruby had it in her to treat her children the way she did. She relished in it. She got off on hurting her children, and you could see it on her face in her vlogs, in the YouTube videos. And that was just a snippet of what was going on. That was just the tip of the iceberg. And I'm sure it got a lot worse than what we were shown. I got an itch, I'm sorry. So now I'm going to insert a clip of Ruby addressing the court. And I'm sorry, it is a long clip, but I think it's important. Because, she's claiming that it's someone else's fault. I just don't believe she's taken full accountability. So here is that clip.
I would like to make a statement without any intent to change my stipulated sentence. For the past 4 years, I've chosen to follow counsel and guidance that has led me into a dark delusion. My distorted version of reality went largely unchecked as I would isolate from anyone who challenged me. I was led to believe that this world was an evil place, filled with cops who control, hospitals that injure, government agencies that brainwash, church leaders who lie and lust, husbands who refuse to protect, and children who need abused. My choice to believe and behave this paranoia culminated into criminal activity for which I stand before you today ready to take accountability. Jody Hildebrandt was never my business partner, nor was I ever employed by her. I have never received wages from her or connections. Jody was employed as my son's counselor in 2019, and in 2020, I paid her to be my mentor. It is important to me to demonstrate my remorse and regret without blame. I take full accountability for my choices, and it is my preference that I serve a prison sentence. Thank you to the officers in Santa Clara and the Ivan City Police, Nick Hellman, Brian Palufo, Cy Pikyavit, Mike Pondoyo in Tobler, John Ward, D. Lewis, and Chief Flowers. You were the angels who came and saved my children. I especially want to thank Detective Jay Bate. She plucked me out of a situation I didn't know how to get out of. And the moment she handcuffed me was the moment I gained my freedom. You were not the controlling ones. I was. Thank you to the medical staff at Intermountain Hospital. Your skill, tenderness, and professionalism helped heal my children. Jody and I inflicted the injuries, not the hospital. Thank you to DCFS, the Children's Justice Center, Judge Basil, and other key adults. You've gathered my children under your wing and offered them love, compassion, encouragement. You were not the ones who were doing the brainwashing. Thank you to my Bishop Tom Hawks and my state president, Jim Nelson, for reminding me of the Lord's love for the lost. So much pain and suffering would have been avoided had I followed and heeded your counsel. I was the one who was deceived, not you. Thank you to the Washington County Prosecutor's Office, Ryan Sham, the legal assistants and discovery clerks. Eric Clark, you exemplified to me how justice and mercy are meant to coexist. My charges are just. They offer safety to my family, accountability to the public, and they did show mercy to me. Thank you to my attorney, Lamar Winward, and his staff. I would not be where I am today without them. Thank you to Randy Kester for your limitless energy in healing my family. My dear friends, Pam and Roy, I'm so sorry for letting you down. Because of your association with me, your innocence was called into question. My mother-in-law, father-in-law, Kevin's family, my cousins, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, and neighbors, you all saw the warning signs long before I did, and you did what you could. You wanted to help, but I pushed you away. My mother and father, I have been utterly wretched to you. You have offered me unconditional love, and for that I have offered you unconditional contempt. My siblings and their spouses, because of my decision to roll around in a pigsty, I've dragged your families through the mud in public. Yet, when I desired to return as the prodigal sister, unlike the prodigal's brother in the Bible, you synced step with my parents and ran out to greet me. Your capacity to love is unprecedented. Kevin, my husband of more than 23 years, you are the love of my life. I'm so sorry to leave to you to finish what we both started together. The ending of our marriage is a tragedy, and you are wrapped around my heart in a knot I'll never be able to undo. To my babies, my 6 little chicks, you are part of me. I was the mama duck who was consistently waddling you to safety. I can see now that over the past 4 years, I was in a deep undercurrent that led us to danger. I would never have led you to darkness knowingly. I was so disoriented that I believed dark was light and right was wrong. I would do anything in this world for you. My willingness to sacrifice all for you was masterfully manipulated into something very ugly. I took from you all that was soft and safe and good. I took from you your mother. How terrifying this must have been for you. I will never stop crying for hurting your tender souls. You are each so precious to me. I'm sorry. My choice to live in fear of the world has created a great vulnerability and a blind spot for me, where I have broken hearts and I've caused people to suffer and I have betrayed sacred trust. Watching my community respond to my charges with justice and mercy and grace and love is all the more evidence to me of how wrong I've been. This world is full of really good people. And finally, I'm sorry for twisting God's word and distorting his doctrines. My greatest desire is to stand in his court someday spotless and confident. And Judge Walton, I know that standing before you today is a necessary step towards that end. Thank you to you and your staff for facilitating my opportunity to take accountability and to answer for my charges. I am humbled and willing to serve a prison sentence as long as it takes to continue unraveling all of the misinformation I have believed and bought, swallowed, and acted out, and for my family to heal and for the community to heal. And I understand this is going to take time. I'm committed to continuing my learning until all of my toxic layers are shed and I am ready to re-enter as a contributing member of our beautiful society. Thank you, Judge Walton.
And I know Ruby has some supporters out there, but I honestly believe a lot of them do not fully understand what exactly she's done here and how absolutely evil what happened is. But I want to believe she's sincere in what she's saying. But after seeing the photos of her 2 youngest children, how skinny they were and how damaged they were after they were rescued, and reading Ruby's unhinged journal, I just can't buy it. I really do want to believe prison is going to help her see what she's done. And, you know, maybe she can heal her relationship with her children. But she was this person before Jody. So I don't know. It just feels gratuitous. She was blessed with 6 children and did nothing but harm. And whether those relationships can be healed, I just don't know. It's very sad. These so many 6 childhoods were stolen, basically. But back to Shari. I feel like this next part is related because a huge part of Shari and her siblings' lives were being in a family vlog, and something that has deeply affected at least Shari's life, but I'm sure the other children as well. I'm positive about that. Shari addressed recently the Utah lawmakers on October 16th on the issue of minors on social media, and I will insert that here.
So I'm going to turn the time over to her.
Right. Thank you for having me today. My name is Shari Franke. My mother, Ruby Franke, is a prominent family vlogger that was arrested last year for child abuse. I don't come today as the daughter of a felon, nor as a victim of an abnormally abusive mother. I come today as a victim of family vlogging. My goal is not to present any idea of a solution to this problem, but to shed light on the ethical and monetary issues that come from being a child influencer. When children become stars in their family's online content, they become child influencers. It is more than just filming your family life and putting it online. It is a full-time job with employees, business credit cards, managers, and marketing strategies. The difference between family vlogging and a normal business, however, is that all the children are employees. Children from before they are born to the day they turn 18 have become the stars of family businesses on YouTube, Instagram, and other social media platforms. Utah is specifically a hotspot for family content due to the LDS culture around family and the goal to share the church with the world. We also have large families, which makes family content more lucrative. Specifically, many parents film their regular family life as an online video blog called a vlog. But I want to be clear that there is never, ever a good reason for posting your children online for money or fame. There is no such thing as a moral or ethical family vlogger. At first, family vlogging is an alluring business that can bring high revenue. For my family, it became the primary source of income, as is often the case with most full-time family vloggers. Many child influencers are paid for their work, as I was, and this money has helped me in my adult life. However, this payment was usually a bribe. For example, we'd be rewarded $100 or a shopping trip if we filmed a particularly embarrassing moment or an exciting event in our lives. Or other times, simply going on vacation was expected to be payment enough because most kids don't get to go on regular and expensive trips. Never mind the fact that the child's labor is actually what paid for the vacation or trip. There is no law in place to guarantee that child influencers get any money from their work. If a family account does not become an LLC, parents are taxed heavily for paying their children. But parents also receive tax write-offs for the regular clothes that they wear, the gas money used to drive places, and even the houses they live in. Anything that is filmed can be written off. And even after registering their business as an LLC, there is no guarantee that children will get paid. Any payment that does happen is under the table with no paper trail. And how do we determine how much a child should make from appearing in family content? What price is worth giving up your childhood? But despite any monetary payment children may receive, don't let this excuse the 24/7 labor that these children are subjected to. As a child, I was fully aware that I was an employee. The business was successful when I was happy or when I shared my hardships with the world. Some of our most popular videos were when my eyebrow was accidentally waxed off and the whole world saw a crying teenager when I just wanted to mourn in private. Or the time I was violently ill and got the leading role in the video that day. My friends became scarce because dates were filmed and none of my friends wanted to be on camera. The camera never stops and there is no such thing as a break from filming. At the time, I tell you I had a choice in what was filmed, but I've come to learn that every child influencer, in a way, suffers from Stockholm Syndrome. Most child influencers would probably tell you they have full control over what is posted, but the reality is that their parents bribe and shame them into posting their most vulnerable moments. In fact, many child influencers may tell you that they enjoy their work because of the monetary perks they receive or the fun experiences that they can have. After all, what child would say no to a fun vacation or shopping spree if all they needed to do was film an embarrassing moment? But as children, we do not understand the consequences of filming our lives and posting it for the world to see. We cannot give consent to our parents to post our lives. In any other context, it is understood that children cannot give consent, but for some reason, people think family vlogging is different. I did not realize the impact that filming as a child would have on me now. My social media became flooded with rumors of having sexual relations with my own brother, to being called a baby birthing machine at the age of 13. All these things have stuck with me, and I will forever live between the ages of 13 to 17 in many of my viewers' minds. In addition, pedophiles stalk the internet, specifically seeking out child influencers. I promise you that the parents are aware of these predators and choose to post their children anyway. I understand that this is a big issue to tackle, and I am not asking you to ban family vlogging, though that is my end goal. I also understand that as Utahns, we don't appreciate big government overreach. But when it comes to protecting children, it should be a bipartisan issue. The only people harmed by child influencer laws are the parents exploiting their children. While this may not seem like an issue now, as child influencers in Utah continue to grow up, I foresee there will be legal crises, with these children realizing that vlogging has brought severe emotional distress, or these kids may realize they don't have an appropriate amount of money to show for their labor. After all, how does that child know how much they should have made versus what their parents may or may not have paid them? Let's deal with this now before we reach that point. But even despite a good paycheck, I want to be absolutely clear that there is no amount of money that can justify selling your soul as a child to the world. In no other industry would we justify unregulated child labor with a huge paycheck, and we should not do that here. If I could go back and do it all again, I'd rather have an empty bank account now and not have my childhood plastered all over the internet. No amount of money I received has made what I've experienced worth it. While I don't have all the answers nor many feasible solutions for this problem, I am proud to be one of the first child influencers in the state of Utah to speak against this issue. I don't want people to look at me and blame my unique circumstances with a mother in prison to the Franke criminal case. Family vlogging ruined my innocence long before Ruby committed a crime. I promise you that my experiences are not unique and are how.
So I've never been a fan of family vloggers. I don't like to see children like on YouTube and TikTok and just being pushed out there for the whole world to see. Yeah, I skip those videos. And Shari makes great points, and I hope they sincerely listen to her and move for some kind of change. I don't know the answer, but I do agree family vlogging with young children, putting their whole life out there on the internet for the whole world to see is dangerous for so many reasons. And our children are in danger every day, no matter what. We don't need to add to that danger. You know what I'm saying? So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for visiting, and I will talk to everyone soon. Bye.